What's up, Sass Squad? Welcome back to the video. Today we have another fan-featured February video featuring Shakiz. He's a viewer of my Twitch stream, and I guess in this video I noticed that two of his Pokemon only have one charge move. Let's just jump into the battles. Alright, so Shakiz is actually running Scolipede, Vileplume, and Electrode. The Vileplume and the Electrode only have one move. So in this first match, we're going to see Scolipede facing off against Electrode. And I'm pretty sure Scolipede can take one discharge here, but it's kind of debatable. I'm not really sure if shielding there what I think this is probably the way he played this is probably correct, because he's able to get off that charge, get a shield, and he can just bring in Vileplume here. He can easily take a discharge, but it is a foul play. I think that's still fine that he didn't shield that. In comes Crustle. So this is interesting because the opponent actually switches into Medicham. I feel like he should have kept in Vileplume here. The rack up some more Razor Leaf damage on the Medicham. Like, even if he was still planning on switching the Electrode rather quick, I think just a few more taps on Razor Leaf could have been pretty significant here. Because as he's throwing these discharges, great call, but look, dude, that's what I'm saying, like, this Medicham, he made some really good calls on the power punches here, but like, he still had to end up shielding something there. Yeah, I feel like the thing about this match is he could have probably just let Vileplume maybe even die, because I feel like even Medicham got an extra like power punch or whatever. The thing about Electrode versus Crustle is he could have had shield advantage against Crustle, and all he had to do was get off one discharge and Volt Switch down. Anyways, that was a close match regardless. In this next battle we get Crustle versus Scolipede. Shakiz switches to Vileplume, and I guess the opponent assumes that their Wigglytuff just not going to do much this battle. So they decide to sack Wigglytuff here on the Vileplume, give him some free reign, I guess, on a switch. They're going to bring back in Crustle here. These are clearly Smackdown Crustles also. I think Shakiz is going to bring in Electrode. Yeah, that's what I was thinking he would do. It makes the most sense, because Scolipede's moves are not going to be doing much damage. They're resisted. In comes Cherim, and in comes Shakiz's Scolipede, which has a little bit of energy. It throws X-Scissor, and this is Razor Leaf Cherim, so there's a really good chance he can flip this little matchup here. He's gonna shield because obviously he's not gonna get killed by a Weather Ball. He might just go for the farm down at this point. That's exactly what he does. And the opponent just quits, which, you know, I understand. It was over at that point. So right now in this set, it seems Shakiz is currently 1-1. So in this next battle, this looks really good. Clefable against Scolipede. He switches into Vileplume on the Electrode switch by the opponent, which I think is a pretty good switch. If it's running Hyper Beam, you want to shield this for sure. It is discharge, so now it's probably just going to be double discharge, and he can take one of these for sure. He might have been able to take both of them actually, and just barely live with Vileplume, which would have been okay, I think. Even if he didn't get off that Sludge Bomb, I think that would have been okay. Because he could have just brought in Scolipede here and farmed down on Clefable. He's going for the bait move. This is interesting. Wait, what? Okay, I'm not entirely sure. The bait I can understand, but the switch to Electrode here feels a little questionable. Yeah, that's Crustle. That's not a good situation to be in. There's not much that can be done. Scolipede versus Crustle. It's just gonna be able to smack down at this point. Yeah, it's a tough match. I'm not really sure about the switch. Like, I feel like you probably could have just stayed with Scolipede and just took the move from Clefable even. It's just, I get it though, it's like a guessing game still. You're not really sure what's in the back line. Here's another crazy switch. Switching in Vileplume in on Icy Wind. I'm not sure if you need to do that either. You know, I feel like he could have just stayed in, taken one Icy Wind, and then switched out to Vileplume. But he sacks Vileplume entirely there, and he brings back in Scolipede. In comes all the Mola from the opponent, so they're running double water so far. And Scolipede's getting off next Scissor. He's going for a Sludge Bomb now, hoping that the opponent will not shield this, and that's exactly what happens. In comes Electrode. In their opponent's backline, they're running a Shadow Porygon 2. And that's kind of interesting, but I think Shakiz has this match in the bag because he has 2 shields. He still has a sack swap if he needs to, or I don't even know if it's really even a sack swap, it's just a swap in general. But yeah, he could totally pull this one off. And the opponent does end up quitting. You know, honestly, I feel like Vileplume, it might not be 100% necessary to have 2 moves, but I don't know what the deal is here. Maybe this is like a budget team or something, but you gotta get a second move on that Electrode. I feel like having Hyper Beam definitely is very useful in some matchups, at least. Like if you're only gonna use Discharge, at least get Hyper Beam on this, because some people will just not shield and take a Hyper Beam. So okay, we get another Porygon 2 in this match, and obviously it already happened, but the Vileplume is able to raise the leap down. In comes in the Shadow Vileplume again, which we saw at the beginning of the match against the Scolipede. And then we see a Shadow Slowpoke. This is a really interesting opponent team. Very interesting team for sure. Scolipede has an interesting situation here though. It's gonna... Okay, so he just switches the Electro, which is a great switch on Shakiz's part. We get Water Pulse from Slowbro. Is that even the right move? Good game. That was interesting. Okay, so that was a 3-2 set. Shakiz, let me know in the comments below why are you just running low on Stardust or something? Just curious about the Electrode scenario at least. I can understand Vileplume not having 2 moves. But yeah, I think that first match you could have actually won if you just stayed in with Vileplume on the Metacham. The other match seemed kind of tricky, the way, because that Crustle in the backline seemed to work really well against your team. But until next time, ladies and gentlemen, this isn't... If you want to consider submitting battles this month, ladies and gentlemen, here's an email here. I know we're going to be back into all 3 leagues starting next week again, so feel free to submit battles then. But until next time, ladies and gentlemen, Sass Squad team stronger each and every day. Consider liking, subscribing. It really helps out the channel and the algorithm and such. And we'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.